Hi and welcome to Tuesday. We're thinking about some changes that we might make to simplify our lives during this COVID season. And just a reminder from Ecclesiastes 3, 1 to 11, that life really is made up of seasons. And so today we're talking about this idea that seasons come and seasons go in our life. In Ecclesiastes 3:1 it says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under heaven." In Ecclesiastes, Solomon takes us on a journey through his life, explaining how everything he tried or tasted was meaningless. It was pointless and empty, an exercise in futility. Remember, Solomon had tremendous intellect, power, and wealth. But Solomon made a triumphant conclusion from all this meaninglessness. At the end of his book, chapter 12, he writes, "Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether good or evil." Well, there's a time and a season for every activity. And we spend time in one season, and then we move on to the next season. We go through seasons where we might be focused on study. We move on to pursuing a relationship season, and then to having a children season. We go through a sleepless season at that period. We move on to educating your children's season, and this is where we are in the grandchildren's season. There are a parent's declining health and dying season, and then our own declining health season. Of course, it doesn't always work out according to this schedule. Pardon me. It's important to remember, whatever is happening in your life, it's only for a season. Good or bad, every season in this earth is temporary. Read the rest of this chapter, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verses 2 to 8. It's a snapshot of the types of seasons that you're likely to experience in the course of your life. And it's important to have a sense of the season that you live in and to make sure that you are present and living in that season, embracing it. It can be disastrous to misunderstand the season. For example, if it's a time to plant, you don't want to uproot. And if it's a time to be silent, it's not a good idea to speak. If you believe in the sovereignty of God, then the season that you go through will be specially designed by God for a specific purpose. The earlier chapters have argued that there's no purpose in all the things that we do, no purpose in wisdom or learning, no purpose in pleasure or wealth or work. It's all meaningless. But chapter 3 is arguing that far from life being meaningless, God has created different seasons to mould and shape us, to develop our character into the people he wants us to be. Whatever season you're in at the moment, the question to ask is, what does God want to teach me in this season? In Rick Warren's book, The Purpose-Driven Life, two things stand out for me. One is the first sentence of the book. It's not about you. I want to make it about me. I want to hold the remote control of the TV. I want to choose what to eat for tea. I want it to be all about me. And I reckon I'm not the only person like that. But to make sense of life, I have to learn that it's not about me. It's about God and his plans and his purposes for the world. The second thing that comes out of that book is this quote: "God's ultimate goal for your life on earth is not comfort, but character development. He wants you to grow up spiritually and become like Christ." And I want to go for comfort every time, but that's not God's agenda. God wants to develop my character. The season you're in is not an accident. God's hand is in it, and there is a purpose for his actions. That is the world is not our home. We're just passing through, and we need to learn the lessons while we're here. Peter says, "Dear friends, I urge you as aliens and strangers in the world to abstain from sinful desires that wage war against your soul." Peter reminds us that we are aliens and strangers here, and it's not in our interests to follow the standards of this world. it's in our best interest to follow God's standards, because they're going to be the standards of our permanent home. We conclude on a positive and optimistic note. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has set eternity in the hearts of men, yet they cannot fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Life on earth is not your final season. Someday, this earthly season will come to an end and a new season will begin. How great will that be? God bless you, and bye for now.